Kryptone by Tone Empire is a very interesting tone shaping box. This plugin combines saturation with EQ. This has been done to death, of course. How exactly this is done makes this particular plugin worth to check out, and I'm not saying that because Tone Empire is sponsoring this video. They haven't seen it before you do. Now, regardless of which plugin you use, the first impression is always the interface. With Kryptone, this resembles a dark piece of untreated iron with ominous red lights. It certainly is a vibe and not for everyone, but my 10-year-old son really likes it. The controls you get are the drive for saturation, the EQ tone dial, an SSL style compressor, and a stereo with controls. Besides that, you get things like a high-low pass filter, mix dial and an auto gain compensation, which is very handy and effective. Also worth mentioning is that oversampling is done automatically. The plugin uses neural network capturing, and this can be a CPU hog. I wouldn't say Kryptone is CPU light by any means, but with 13-ish% CPU usage on my system, it is very well controlled. Now let's get to the important part. The sound. All of these controls have an impact. Drive gives you 3 different saturation types, each with a different character and focus on a different part of the frequency spectrum. The info on the plugin itself explains them spot on. Let's cycle through these alone. The tone dial in the plugin is really for tonal shaping. You get 3 settings, 3 rather extreme curves when you dial it up that will steer your audio into a specific direction. I think it's best used on individual tracks or when you really want to imprint a sound on a whole mix. Let's go over them. Silk is a curve that mostly cuts away aggressiveness and honk while adding low end. Presence removes again some of the honk but boosts in the higher mid-range, but it avoids boosting the more aggressive range. Dark is also very interesting. It removes high end, boosts the entire spectrum but more at the low end, and it dips the 1000 Hz range. These 2 main controls, together with the compressor, will give you some really powerful sound sculpting options. A few examples to demonstrate this would help, I'd say. Here's an electronic kick to begin with, and I will crush the sound and go through some of the settings. The difference is clear, to say the least. It went from a rather tame kick to a very thumping, loud and aggressive kick. This was an extreme sample. For this next one we stay with drums and do a complete loop. The goal is to bring life and excitement into the somewhat flat recording. Auto gain is enabled. I'd say mission accomplished. The acoustic guitar in this next part needs to be lifted as well. We will make it more even and more exciting. Now let's do something more subtle. Kryptone can also work as a sort of a nice finalizing processor. On this already rather processed vocal, it will add the finishing touch and a nice polish.
Call me crazy, call me obsessed, but I don't think it's all in my head. Call me crazy, call me obsessed, but I don't think it's all in my head. Call me crazy, call me obsessed, but I don't think it's all in my head. Call me crazy, call me obsessed, but I don't think it's all in my head.
All in all, Kryptone is a fun and useful tone shaping box. It can drastically or more subtly improve your audio. I would check it out and find out if Kryptone fits in your audio toolshed.